Welcome to the winner's circle, kid.
Hey, Zedheads, welcome to the podcast. I'm Ben.
And I'm Alex.
And this is the Cast of Us episode 653.
And this episode, we're covering The Walking Dead, Dead City Season 2, Episode 6. Bridge partners are hard to come by these days.
And yeah, we're I think Lauren Cohen's directorial debut episode.
On this show or in life?
No, I think it's in general. I think this was her directorial debut in across the board.
I love following directors and trying to pick up on certain directors' eyes. Like, I think when Ben Stiller is at the helm for Severance, you can really feel it. But when they bring in those guest directors to give you a dispatch, to give you a little bit of time away, it's really fun. I thought Lauren Cohen did a phenomenal job directing this episode. We'll get into it once we get to the episode, but I'm going to preemptively take my hat off. I thought she did a phenomenal job directing it.
I just looked it up. Yeah, this is her directorial debut. She has never directed anything before this. And you know what? And oftentimes when you see somebody who's making their directorial debut and if they're a television actor or actress, oftentimes they are making that debut on the show that they are working on.
For sure. Zach Braff. I think he may have done Garden State before he did an episode of Scrubs. No, I'm sure Bill Lawrence let him cut his teeth on Scrubs.
I would think it would have to be on Scrubs. Tom Cavanaugh made his directorial debut with The Flash.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Danielle Panabaker made her directorial debut with The Flash. Kevin Smith he didn't make his directorial debut with The Flash.
He did with Clerks. Something to be said there.
That's yeah. Right. But no, oftentimes you see people who make their directorial debut, it's usually with the show that they're on because the producers are familiar with them and they know their style, they know the beats. Exactly. Yep. What better project to direct than one that you were familiar with and involved with?
Absolutely, yes.
So, but I agree with you. I think she did an amazing job with this episode, and it's kind of nice, we're playing catch up this week and, we'll be caught up after this episode. It was kind of nice actually watching them back to back to see.
It really helped
to see the tonal difference between last week's episode and this episode. Because as much as I had issues with last week's episode, this episode was a step above. Quite a few steps above, actually.
It restored my faith in the future. And we'll get to it. Let's talk about the feedback from last week. But it restored my faith in what's to come.
I'm the same way. I kind of felt that sinking feeling and kind of understood.
I got closer to fear, and I was okay.
Guys, last week,
yeah, for sure.
And then this week, kind of was like, all right,
you had a plan. Okay, cool.
All right,
you realized you bit off more than you could chew in the first half, so you set the table again, and now you're just focusing on the stuff that was working the best. That's fantastic. Good stuff.
It's kind of like the analogy I made for the last episode was I get why we're taking this route. I don't understand why you got off at this off ramp.
For sure.
But we're back on the highway now.
Right.
So
you took an interesting scenic route, but we're on our way to Wacky World.
Well, if it was a scenic route, the scenic overlook was closed when we got there. After last week's episode,
now,
but
that's how you drip an analogy and a metaphor, folks.
Right?
Nicely done, Ben.
All right, let's do our feedback for episode 5 before we do this. Before we dive into episode 6.
Don't start messing with numbers, man.
I believe it is my turn to start with the feedback. So starting off with Megan O'Connell. Megan says, I'm just so glad Narvaez is gone. She deserved what she got, especially after doing absolutely nothing about all the walkers groaning on the gate. Seriously, that scene was so far-fetched for me with this universe and with experienced people at this point. Again, glad she's gone.
Yep.
Me too.
Yep. The shambling of the Zeds and the absolute lack of action on everyone being chomped to death by the Zeds, both New Babylon and Groaners. I didn't understand why. Like, it was the weirdest, most pathetic Zed attack I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I mean, we didn't really talk about this much last episode, but I kind of the nature people I understood. Like,
yes, they were accepting the fate. Like the like the mask whispers.
Their whole ideology is that the zombies are part of the natural order, and they were there to protect everything that is there in nature. So they were welcoming becoming a part of that order. New Babylonians and everybody else, I didn't care. I didn't know what the hell's happening.
No excuse for them. So,
yep.
Megan, right there with you. Couldn't agree more.
100%.
Next up from Josie Bowen Ekdahl. She says, I didn't enjoy how they showed Negan scraping the rat off of his foot. It seemed like they thought the viewers wouldn't grasp the concept that Negan was behind it otherwise. We're not that dumb. Come on. I love watching Negan this season. Pitting the Croat and the Dama against each other had a rewarding finish, but now I'm wondering what will happen because of her death. I appreciated Negan's response once he saw the children, and I so badly wanted to punch the Croat for gassing up the place. Killing those people was a terrible and useless choice. I'm glad to be rid of the park people. That moaning is awful. The gate scene reminded me of season 11 of Walking Dead with the Commonwealth. Inevitable that it falls, naturally. At least it took out Narvaez and the moaners, but I also think that was a lame end to Narvaez's character. She was stupid and continued to be stupid the whole time. Hasn't anyone realized you can't fuck with Maggie Rhee or Negan Smith and get off scot-free? Looking forward to next week and seeing what happens next. I think you were definitely right when you say it's a build-up season for the eventual battle for the city. Hopefully it's big. I'm thinking we'll get to see more of Bruegel. He's intriguing. Okay, bye.
So I was right there with Josie about the scraping the rat off his shoes and making it seem
dumb.
Making it seem like we're not that dumb. Yes. However, after watching this week's episode, it was a total choice. And I now completely understand why they did it.
I hear exactly what you're saying, but I think they could have shown the scene with them without showing us the rat and just showing us the bloody boot, and we would have put 2 and 2 together anyway.
Oh, 100%.
So I could see both sides of that. I think I do at times feel like they are talking down to the audience a little bit. Like I don't know. I see what Josie's saying on that one.
Oh yeah, I do too. There was something else in her email. Oh, I remember what it was. I completely forgot that Negan's last name was Smith.
I don't know why I always thought it was Jones, and I know it's not Jones because it's Morgan Jones. But yeah, I always forget what Negan's last name is. It's Smith. It's the most common. It's the most uncommon first name and the most common last name in the world.
Yeah,
it's like so well done. Thank you, Josie.
All right. Next up, we have a piece of feedback from Deborah Ulmer, and Deborah says, "Hi, Ben and Alex. This episode was great, and they really cleaned house. I've been enjoying the quiet moments with Maggie, Pearlie, and Herschel. Their conversations are meaningful and well done. I'm glad Herschel finally opened up to Maggie about the Dama. I also appreciate how the show incorporates different cultural backgrounds and languages, reflecting New York's melting pot. Navarez, again, we're pronouncing it 15 different ways.
She's dead.
Yeah, she's dead. Went full psycho for the cause and got herself killed. Fittingly by Roxana and her people. It served her right. Ginny's character took an unexpected turn. I thought she'd be a loyal friend to Herschel and ally to Maggie. Her change of heart came a little too late for my liking in saving Maggie, though. The execution hanging made me wonder if Maggie had flashbacks of Gregory, despite their differing circumstances. At least the foragers went out seemingly on their own terms and didn't even flinch when the walkers got them. Negan's talk with the Croat was effective. The Dama pushed him too far and he didn't save her. But I liked her as a villain and wanted to see more. Was Christos framed by Bruegel for the methane station attack? If so, was his plan to double-cross the Dama and turn to New Babylon all along? I'm loving the twists and turns in this show. Y'all have a good one. Take care. I did not even consider
never once, but
that Bruegel
makes logical sense.
That Bruegel framed Christos
absolutely
for that,
and even knowing that the Croat would be because And here's where Deborah, I think you make the best point. When watching the episode the second time, the first thought I had to myself was, really, he's going to cut the wire and be stupid enough to leave the knife directly under what he just cut? Are you kidding me? But if it was planted there by Bruegel, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
That's good.
I don't know why. I'm making all these weird theories about Negan, being king of New York and are Annie and Josh really coming and all this other stuff. Never once, I'm really disappointed in myself, never once considered the fact that Bruegel framed Christos.
And that's why Podcastica has the best listeners in the world.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Deborah.
Yeah, well done. Well, nice pickup.
All right. Next up, we have an email from Colin Stillwell. Colin, last episode, you killed me. Let's see what happens here. Season 2, Episode 5. They really brought in the Bad Girls Club just to shake it down, huh? Dama and Navarez in one fell swoop. Can't say I'm going to miss those squawking twats at all.
Oh my God.
Really thought Christos was going to push the NOS button on old Lucille so we would watch Deutschland Daycare go down in disaster. Methane and poor leadership can lead to a pile of molten dentures and fake nails. Remember, kids, only you can prevent elderly immolation. That's enough of those for the night. I really don't have much else to say about the episode. I really thought the Christos thing would draw out for the season with another gang violence type situation. Herschel's going to be all upset that his drama dama is dead. The plot armor was strong in this episode. Negan's going to have an upset tummy and a stress headache from the methane poisoning, while Maggie keeps her head on her shoulders for once. I'd like to know what kind of caliber Navarez was packing in her 1911, because she almost broke her nose 3 times with that recoil. 4.5 out of 10. Would have been 6.6 out of 10 if somebody had slipped on the rat carcass and hit the marble. Anyways, peace. Keep on keeping on. CS.
Drama dama.
I appreciate some good wordplay, and Colin, keep it coming, baby. I am thoroughly enjoying reading your emails.
Yeah, he's been providing a lot of great entertainment for us over the past couple episodes. It's been great.
I don't know if I could just always request to read Colin's, but if I could, I would love it. I adore it so much.
It's so
it's
good.
Got a flow to it. Like, it really moves along nicely. It's a gift.
Remember, kids, only you can prevent elderly immolation.
I mean, who comes up with this stuff, man? I love it.
Clearly, Colin. Yeah.
Amen.
Thank you, Colin. It's always fun reading your emails. But that, of course, leaves one final piece of feedback, and that comes from our friend Steve Brown.
Hello, Ben and Alex. This is Steve, and this is going to be for TWD DC Season 2, Episode 5. The Bird Always Knows. Oh, what is the Croat getting dressed to the nines for with the soundtrack behind him? While back at Central Park, Herschel, Maggie, and Pearlie are still on their way to do whatever, get methane, scout it out. I don't know. I've lost track of this plan now. Now Maggie says they're going to go home. Okay, so that scene at the beginning was they lost power at one substation, so there's another group working against the Dama and her people. And by the way, it looks like Negan's just walking around the theater with Lucille too now. Oh, Nieves took over these people. I don't know what they're called again. Okay, so what kind of game are they running here with Jenny and this with now since Pearlie reveals that he left Negan there to try to be their undercover man? Oh, Major, that's not a good idea. Holding Herschel as ransom or holding him as the and sending out Maggie to go get Negan and the Barazzi. I don't know. Oh, and Negan just used Lucille to kill the Walker. He said the bird always knew, not knows, so not a mic drop yet. Wait a minute. So Christos is going to threaten Negan, and then his kids come in. Why did Maggie go and even talk to Pearlie and Roxana? Just to say what? I don't understand that scene. Okay, seriously, Croat, you think that Christos and his people are going to be dumb enough to leave a knife behind when they... So the canisters the Croat sent with Negan were leaking the entire time. And the Croat gives Negan back his bat after killing all of Christos' people. But he left the families alive. That's nice. Okay, so Pearlie just said it. The bird always knows. There's the title of the episode, mic drop. Okay, so Negan's strategy is starting to work. He's starting to drive a wedge between the Dama and the Croat. Yeah. Okay, so the Major just killed Roxana. Oh, had her hanged, and now she's going to hang Maggie? Oh, the Foragers. That's what these people are called. That's what the Subtitles just called them. Okay, I guess it's a good thing that Maggie's neck didn't snap immediately when that chair fell, but Jenny saved her, and now somebody put the chair back underneath her, and now Maggie goes into killing mode. She's going to save Herschel. And apparently, Roxana the Walker got loose from her noose real quick and just attacked Nieves. And once again, we see that a dead person turning to a walker is just depending on how fast the story needs them to turn. Meanwhile, back at the Damas, somebody killed her rat. And the last survivor of the Foragers and of the New Babylon people are Jenny, well, Jenny's bit maybe, and Pearlie, Maggie, and Herschel. Oh, who's knocking at the door? Oh, Kim Coates and his people, the Bruegel. Oh, she bit his finger. And he's going to let her burn. Oh, Negan killed the rat. All right, on to next week.
The alliteration coming out of feedback this week is wonderful.
Our fans are the best.
It's wonderful. Thank you, Steve, for the feedback as always. I don't think the methane was leaking the entire time. They were in there for way too long.
That's true.
I think the Croat turned a knob when he walked in.
Okay, that makes sense. Also, Ginny was not bit. She was impaled by a rusty fence post.
Yes. Yeah.
So, it's so funny because it does kind of look like a bite, but it's just an impaling. So always fun.
Yes. Yeah. Which we'll talk a little bit about this week because it looks like there's infection involved now.
Sure does.
Yeah, but yeah, I think there was something else. Oh, Steve's comment about how people turn to walkers as fast as the show needs them to turn.
Amen, buddy. Amen. And it's one of the time-honored traditions of the show, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. But thank you, everybody, for all the feedback this week, and keep it coming. We have, again, 3 more episodes. 3 more opportunities to leave feedback because you'll have
7, 8, and then wrap.
Well, 6, which is the episode. I know it's
6, 7, then 8 is the wrap up.
Let's not do what we did last episode.
There,
no, you'll have
24 hours.
6 that you still have opportunities to leave feedback for 6, 7, and 8.
Yep.
Which we look forward to hearing from you all about all of that. But that being said, let's dive into our coverage of Season 2, Episode 6. Why don't you go ahead and give us the very short but informative plot summary for this episode?
It sticks the landing. So we are at The Walking Dead, Dead City, Season 2, Episode 6. Bridge partners are hard to come by these days. Here's the plot summary. Maggie and Herschel battle a deadly bear inside Bruegel's museum, forcing Herschel to prove himself. Meanwhile, Negan seizes control by defeating and exiling the Croat. As tensions peak, Ginny's worsening condition adds new emotional stakes.
It's a simple summary this week.
Yeah, it leaves out the entire Pearlie subplot, but okay, we'll talk about that.
Oh, let's just start over and I'll add it in there. It's fine.
Yeah, oh, no, we keep going. We plug through.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't add any of the Pearlie stuff in there.
It's okay. That's why we talk about the episode. You know, that's just to whet the appetite.
But I mean, compared again, like as we said at the top of the episode, comparatively from last week to this week, it's a much more involved storyline. Trimming that fat last week has really made this a lot more of a cohesive story now, where we trimmed off the loose ends, we brought more characters together, and now because we're down to literally we're down to Negan, Maggie, Herschel, Ginny, Pearlie, Croat, and Bruegel. Those are our main characters now.
That's who we know.
We don't have to worry about the Foragers. We don't have to worry about Roxana. We don't have to worry about Lucia. We don't have to worry about Christos. We can eliminate all of them, and now we can really push this story forward.
Yes.
And even so, even a character who we could have had more with, which was Annie and Josh, we don't even have them now because...
We'll get to that because I'm really excited to dive into what happened in that scene, because the second time I watched it again with a couple of different plausible scenarios, and I don't know where exactly I land on Negan's motivations for his actions on that one.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So then where do you want to start with this one?
Do you just want to kind of maybe start at the top? So essentially Maggie, Herschel, and and Pearlie are all at Bruegel's shelter. He's kind of being hospitable, but also letting them know, like, hey, I'm totally going to double cross Negan and the Dama and all that. I just want the methane, and I am here for colonization. Colonize me, which I don't trust at all. I don't trust anything Bruegel says.
Kim Coates eats the scenery, man.
Oh,
he is.
It's a 4-course meal.
Yeah, like chewing it is the actual term. I don't know why I said eats, but yeah, he chews up the scenery like crazy. He has been in just the couple episodes we've seen him in. He has been such an amazing addition to this story.
He's one of the most charming, diabolical bastards that I can't wait to find out more of. Then he could be anyone. He was trained by Warren Buffett.
I caught that too.
Like, what? You learned bridge from Warren Buffett? Who were you, Bruegel? I'm thinking finance bro of the nth degree. Like a finance billionaire type.
That's what I said, or that's what I said a couple episodes ago. I was like, he's
Wall Street dude.
He's a Wall Street guy.
Yep.
He has to be.
He's Michael Douglas in
Wall Street.
In Wall Street, yeah.
But he is such a charming villain.
Oh, I love him.
At the same time, like when he has all of them sitting at the table and he's pouring wine and he gets to Ginny's glass and he's like, "Can I see your ID?" It's a special occasion. We'll treat this like Europe, as he's pouring her wine anyway. Like,
and
Herschel, he is so fucking charming as a villain that I almost can't stand it. And I know he's going to be, by the end of this season, he is going to be the big bad.
Oh, he's the big bad. But
yes,
the thing I love the most about him is he is not hiding anything about himself. He is 100% authentic 100% of the time. He plays the game and he withholds what he needs to withhold. But even when they're talking about the pros and cons of colonization, like, he lays out, he is in it to win it. Like, he is not a good person and he accepts that and he has no problem with that. And I find that to be the most fascinating. Like, he knows what he is and he's cool with it. And he's really, really smart.
Yeah, he's incredibly smart. And I love the fact that at one point during that conversation, he's like, "Have you ever seen Jefferson crossing the Delaware?" And like Maggie immediately interrupts that, because Maggie's the one that burned it, in the earlier episode.
No,
that's not
Herschel
why
did. Herschel burned it.
Well,
to cause a distraction.
Herschel, Maggie, that group of people.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That contingent. But I'm almost wondering, like, with everything, the fact that he's laying out his plans front and center to everybody in the room, is it a matter of being smart, or is it a matter of being just overconfident? I'm trying to, it could be a little of column A, a little of column B at the same time.
That would be my vote. I think he is extremely capable and he knows it. And he knows he's got the BDE energy over everybody else in the room and he's going to flaunt it a little bit.
It was funny too in that scene when he brings them all in and he invites them all in to sit at the table. He's holding the gun and he's like, "Oh, I haven't seen one of these in a while. Like, would have been nice if there were a couple rounds in it, but it's a nice piece for the museum."
Right.
He's looking at the fact that he's looking at a gun as a piece of history. Means that similarly to the Dama, he is somebody who is looking forward to the future and not living in the past. He's looking at a gun, which is arguably a more powerful weapon than any of that he has right now. Actually, I take that back, because now that complicates things. I said that he's somebody he's not living in the past, but he's looking to the future, as in looking at a gun as a piece of history. But he's somebody who keeps and uses medieval weapons. So maybe he is living too far in the past.
Okay. I mean, his outfit sure as hell screams 1600s. So there's that.
Edgar Allan Poe. I mean,
fantastic. I wonder. It's going to be very fascinating to find out. And again, I think because of whatever the hell upbringing and existence he had before everything fell, I think might help explain why he is the way he is. And they're giving us nuggets. They're giving us little nuggets. And I appreciate that the exposition on Bruegel is coming bit by bit and piece by piece. And we're not just getting a massive dump of information about who he used to be. It's truly a mystery who he is. And I love it.
It is. I mean, you're right. We're getting those little nuggets, like the little Warren Buffett, tidbit about it. The fact that he knows about the arts. We were getting similar little nuggets about the Dama until it was fully revealed,
right?
By Ben sitting at Bruegel's table of all places.
True.
So I have a feeling hopefully we will find out more about Bruegel by the end of this season. But I'm sticking to our theory that he's a Wall Street guy. It really plays into everything. Like, it plays into the fact that he's a bridge player, the fact that he knows Warren Buffett, or he knew Warren Buffett, the fact that he is an art appreciator, meaning he has value for high valued things.
And here's, not to interrupt, but before I lose the thought, because I've already lost it twice now. Here is where I think he diverges, in that he beat the old world. Like, he did it. He's been there. He's done that. He beat it. He won. And now he's got this new world, and he wants to win this game too. Because again, I'm guessing he was that level of powerful on Wall Street that he won the game of life in that succession way. But then the world fell, and he still found a way to keep winning. And I think it is that winning that really drives him. And the redefinition of winning is going to keep him going and keep him crazy.
Well, I mean, yeah, you look at Wall Street people, and a lot of them look at it as if, especially if they're playing with other people's money, they look at it as a game. Like, it's a game to who's going to win more money, especially because, like I said, they're not playing with their own, they're playing with other people's money. And you have to be really smart to be a successful broker in that sense.
Yes.
And his intelligence definitely goes past just the Wall Street thing. I mean, you look at somebody who's on Wall Street and how they always try to find legal ways to get insider information about trades and things like that. And then you get to the end of this episode, and he has all this insider information on Pearlie.
Yep.
And how did he get it? He captured Lucia before she turned.
And she was more than willing to spill her guts about all the traitors that just left her to die.
Yeah.
And so, all right. So I guess it's okay maybe to just kind of split the episode between the Negan storyline and the Maggie storyline. So, because we're already halfway there. So with the Maggie storyline then, with Bruegel and all that, do you want to talk about Herschel a little bit?
I mean, I don't see why we shouldn't. Again, I mean, this story, we're going to end up jumping around because we always do. But
it's true.
There's a lot of development to the Maggie Herschel story in this episode. So much so to the fact that Herschel leaves at the end. By the end of this episode, he walks out on Maggie.
Chooses his own path. Yeah.
I have to say, though, this episode had a number of holy shit / what the fuck moments for me.
Okay.
Meaning I said those words out loud at particular moments of this episode.
So what moment is making you think that right now?
So Herschel capturing the zombie blood.
Yeah.
And willing to put it into the water to poison everyone.
Yep.
Was a true, like, I watched that scene and I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, where did you learn this? I mean,
I think the Dama told him when he burned Delaware or Washington crossing the Delaware, and Herschel and the Dama ran into each other. I think she gave him the order.
But here's the thing, though, is he's so blinded by the Dama's influence, because at this point he looks at Maggie, who's lying sleeping on the cot. He goes, he pierces the neck of the walker, he captures the blood. Let's say he accomplishes what he meant to do, and he pours the blood into the water supply. He's so blinded by that. If in fact he was given this order, given this information by the Dama, he's so blinded by the Dama's influence that he's not realizing that his mother is still in this place, and there is a potential that she could drink that water.
I had that thought too. Like, damn, Herschel, are you not going to warn your mom that you just poisoned the water hole?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I know. Damn it. I wanted it. I wanted to break you. And I did it. And I'm so happy.
Son of a bitch. The moment you said that, I'm like, somebody poisoned the water hole.
I know you did. Everyone listening thought that. That's ever seen Toy Story.
But yeah, like you don't realize like you are so blinded. You're so narrow-minded in that moment. It's clever. Don't get me wrong. It's incredibly clever.
It's a very smart way to do it.
Yeah, like you basically can get everybody in one shot without them even knowing.
Ricin attack. Like it's the perfect untraceable crime.
Yeah. But you are taking a chance that Maggie and Ginny are also potentially going to drink that water.
Yep. And
like, yeah,
he just doesn't seem to care. Or he's, to your point, so blinded he doesn't even see that far into the consequential future. But thankfully Maggie caught him, and in the most defiant way possible, he poured that blood out on the ground. And like that was her moment of saying, oh my God, my kid is a sociopath that burns cats. Like that was her finally saying it's not just a phase, Colin. I see.
Yeah. I mean, it's, I was really worried in that moment. And because of that fact that was so careless, you're right. He could have warned Maggie, or, his whole intention was to poison that blood and then poison that water and then leave. It'd be one thing. Yeah. I think he was planning on leaving.
He had his abandoned Maggie.
He had his backpack on when he was doing it.
God, why does he hate her so much?
Well, he kind of reveals that a little bit. And
actually, that's a really good point.
He has such a resentment for his mom at this point, that even when he says it, like even when they were there, she was not there. She physically she was there, but she
mentally has never been there.
Mentally and emotionally, she's never been there for him.
And I see it, and that sucks, and that's tough. And the actors have done a phenomenal job of showing that history without us having to watch that history. And I truly do feel it. I believe it. Lauren Cohen is always phenomenal, but Logan Kim just delightful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't question it at all. I mean,
no, it's you can tell it's very authentic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's completely authentic. I don't question any of that one single bit. Let me look at my notes here.
I mean, if we're talking about Herschel, we could talk about when he tries to exit, and we run into one of the more interesting animal attacks in Walking Dead history.
Yeah, I mean, come on, like it's
so. If this was an episode of Game of Thrones, it would have been called "The Bear and the Farmer" or something like that. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed, from the same group that gave us the world's worst deer at the county fair from hell. I thought that the one-eyed bear, not half bad. Was it a nod to the movie Brave? Perhaps, but I enjoyed it.
You know what? I'm actually right there with you. Like I'm watching this episode, and I remember actually saying to myself, like, you know what? Like this bear actually looks pretty realistic. Like
Walking Dead, I was pretty happy with that one.
I'm not questioning this at all. I mean, there was. I hate admitting this, but there was a part of me that when the bear was standing up on its hind legs, I was like, "Oh, he's cute." He's like Winnie the Pooh.
There was some cuddliness there with that bear. Like I didn't hate him. It's like, him.
Oh, he only has one eye. I want to hug him.
He's misunderstood, man. He's had a tough couple of goes at it too. Like he just. My man, she could have you trapped him in the cage and then boom, brew, you own a bear. Although, did you see them wheelbarrowing the bear meat at the next morning?
Yeah.
I love that. I was like, but at least she left a good ass parting gift.
It's so funny that you say like you could have trapped him in the cage and Bruegel would have owned a bear, because there was a part of me that actually thought that exact thing. I'm like, trap him in the fucking center cage.
It would have been so easy, and then you have a bear.
And then Bruegel's got a new champion to fight against nobody else because he killed everyone.
And it's a bear.
And it's a bear. Exactly.
Shira couldn't.
Can you imagine like taking that bear to a competition being like, your zombie looks a lot like a bear.
Pay no attention. He's Ukrainian. No, I don't.
It's just the armor he's in.
It's just the armor.
I put him in a bearskin rug.
No. No offense,
No.
Peter. No. So I love that Logan Kim got to really show off his throwing skills, murdering a CGI bear. Nicely done. This is the second week in a row, I guess, that the spikes on top of the octagon came into play, in which it murdered the bear this week, and it really messed up Tony last week. So love seeing that happen.
Yeah, but I mean, we also have to make mention, too, that we see Herschel's knife skills come into play.
He's good.
He has, I don't know if he's been training since he left the bricks, but he had 2 direct hits into that bear, direct and targeted hits, because the other one took out the bear's other eye.
Sure did. Well, and if you'll remember at the end of the season premiere, it showed him in his room in like that Cobra Kai level montage moment, throwing the knives at the door, and like he was at the end nailing it against the door, and I'm like, all right.
Well, he gets the last one. Like, I think a couple bounce off, and then he gets the last one before it goes to black and the episode ends. But that's what I'm saying. Like, he had 2 really good hits, and from a high advantage point too, that they needed to be precise throws.
Well,
so
as Obi-Wan Kenobi taught us, all you need is the high ground.
That's true. You were my friend, Anakin. He clearly has been practicing since that time on the bricks.
Yep.
So, I mean, and it's paid off, because as much as him and Maggie had it out, he saved Maggie's life. Maggie was a goner if not for Herschel.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely. And I found it interesting that the next morning, both Maggie and Herschel are gone. And like, that's where Brogel, there you go, buddy. That's where Brogel gets to really kind of suss it out with Pearlie. Like, all right, what kind of relationship are we about to have? Are we about to be a friendship, or am I about to own your ass? And at the end of the day, he ended up owning his ass. And that's unfortunate.
It goes back to that intelligence that we talked about that Brogel. I love that we just keep calling him Brogel.
Me too. Knowledge is power.
That Brogel has, you're right. And the fact how he acquired that knowledge was incredibly creative.
Brilliant.
And incredibly slimy at the same time, to the fact that he still had Lucia.
Just to show her to Pearlie.
Yeah.
That's the only, because then he killed her. So it was like, all right.
Yeah, her job was done.
But you know what? And this is where the show is less than Fear the Walking Dead. All right, listener. So hear me out here, okay? Because they gave us that explanation for how Brogel was able to find these survivors, it answered a pretty interesting plot hole from last week. I was curious of like, oh, that's really convenient that he just so happens to show up right where they needed him to show up at the right time. No, he got that information from Lucia and was able to find that. So I appreciated them not retconning, but explaining after the fact how he was able to happen upon them. Like, that was all planned. That was not happenstance.
Well, I agree and I disagree, because Brogel still had to find Lucia in the park. So, because he says he found her after she was bit, and she had a number of bites, she was bleeding out. He found her that way. So he had to have been in the park already to find her. And he had to be relatively close, because she wasn't lasting that long.
Correct. And I think we kind of learned that when they went back to his spot, that they are kind of close. So therein lies my question to you. Do you believe that Edgar Allan Coates did not know about the foragers? Because he said he didn't know, but I don't believe that. I think he knew about them, but didn't see them as a threat, so he let them do their thing.
I don't buy that for a second either. Okay. I think he totally knew about the foragers.
So maybe he was monitoring their situation, saw that there was this like bonfire in the middle of Central Park, and was like, let me go send some guys to see what the hell's going on there. I think it could have been interesting. Like, I could see him having some influence on just checking things out too. I don't know.
It's the whole, like, the fact that he knew, as big as Central Park is, the fact that he came across them only gives me that inclination that he already knew where they were.
Yes, I agree with you 1000%. I agree. Yes. He knew where they were. He just had to wait for the right moment to intervene.
But you're also right. There also was a big ass bonfire happening at that time too,
and a lot of moaning.
Well, that too. Well, the moaning could have come from. They could have heard that, and it could have come. I don't know if you would have been able to distinguish where they were just from the moaning, but. I think it was Lucia and the New Babylon people that lit the fire.
Yes.
Stupidly,
which again made it seem very much like a Seraphite ritual. I don't know if anyone else got that vibe. It was very Seraphinian.
Yeah, you were ready. Instead of slicing them open, they were hanging them.
Yep.
So,
and I did like when someone pointed out the Gregory parallel. I also like the comic book parallel of Maggie almost strangling herself after her dad died in the comic, if I remember correctly.
Did you call her Nagy?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to.
Look, there have been times this season it's been appropriate.
I mean, I'll tell you what, man. As a parent of 2 kids, sometimes you got to nag. It's the only way to get things done.
I will admit, Maggie and Herschel having it out finally about all of this, and Herschel really letting out his feelings. Like, he's not holding back anymore at this point. I was a little conflicted because you're right. It is something that needed to be done. It was 2 people who really needed to, Herschel more than Maggie, really needed to express what he was feeling. However, I'm conflicted because I did kind of get this whole, like, you're a little brat, like, you're a little monster kind of implication from all of that too. But it's the reason why I'm conflicted about that is because that's not his doing. That is somebody else's influence that is causing them to think this way. And it's even more complicated when you realize that the person that made him think this way is no longer one of this world.
I will challenge that as, did she make him think this way or let him know that it's okay to think this way? I think she encouraged what was already there as opposed to planting something there. There's something about Herschel that makes me feel like he actually is like this chosen one of the Dhamma's vision of what the new world could look like. The way he looks at it, the way he sees the beauty in the new world is something that she was very into. And I think all she did was stoke the fire that was already lit in him.
You might have a really good point about that too, especially when you think about and consider what he said to Maggie in this episode. The whole, like, you were there, but you weren't actually there. Like, these are very clearly suppressed feelings that he has been having for a while. I mean, there's no way. Yeah, there's no way that the Dhamma can make him feel these things unless he was already feeling them, because she doesn't know his at-home situation. Right. She can't force him to think your mother was never there for you, even though she was there, because she doesn't know. She doesn't know any of this. So you're probably right. It could be she gave him the power to realize that it's okay to think these things.
Yes, that is what I truly do believe, because when you think about it from Herschel's point of view, I don't know how old he is. Let's say he's 16. For all 16 years of his life, the old world has made his mother miserable and distant and cold and detached. So why would he try to bring back something that causes so much pain for his mom?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, that's a really good point. So I don't know. It's going to be